Hey guys, how are you? Hope you're all doing very well. This afternoon I'm going to be doing a movie review. This movie is a drama from Germany, German language English subs, released in the year 2013, directed by Catherine Gedder, and this movie is called Nothing Bad Will Happen. So Nothing Bad Will Happen is about Torre. Torre is this individual who is very innocent. I don't know if he has autism or he's intellectually, below average, but he is just very innocent, and a lot of people seem to be taking advantage of him. So all he's ever wanted was a sense of belonging. And he gets that belonging by visiting this church and this group within the church called the Jesus Freaks. So Torre, before this, he had been separated from his family for whatever reason. He's not with his normal family, but now he has found a sense of belonging within this church community. So they go along on the road. They're definitely more. They are very religious, but they're more of a teenage sort of religion, as they're having a lot of fun, but they do keep within the guidelines of the Christian faith. So one night when Torre is at a party, he recognises this man. Now this man comes up to Torre. He helps Torre when Torre falls down with an epileptic fit, and now Torre believes that this man has been sent by God to look over him. And so the man invites Torre back to his house. This guy introduces Torre to his wife, his young daughter and son, and this is where Torre gets a new sense of belonging. And this is actually a proper family situation, a proper family environment. And now Torre is thanking God for what God has given him. But then as the movie goes along, this man starts to develop a very aggressive personality, and Torre believes now that maybe this wasn't a blessing in disguise, and that maybe this is a nightmare. And now his faith in God and the courage that it takes to follow his faith is being put to the test as things start to go down a very deep and disturbing path. So what that path is, something you're going to have to find out for yourself, because that's as far as I'm going with my synopsis. Now my thoughts on Nothing Bad Can Happen. I can put this film on the same level of Martyrs. You've got Lars von Trier films, you've got Antichrist, all those movies that aren't afraid to show you the ugliness of life. Now this is definitely a drama, but it does have a very strong horror element to it. Now it's not gratuitously violent like Martyrs was. Although Martyrs is a masterpiece, I still think they got caught a little bit in showing you visuals as far as blood, shocking scenes of violence, shocking scenes of these ghastly visuals that really haunt you. And it's about what you see, and it does have a very emotional sort of depth to it, but it really does hit you in the memory by what you're actually seeing. And I think that's what made the film so provocative and so shocking. Whereas this film, it doesn't really hit you on the gratuitous level, it does hit you on a very deep and psychological level. And this is a movie about the human condition. This is a movie about human interaction, and I thought that Catherine Gedder did it with a lot of class, because, as I said, she's not throwing cheap gore effects at you. She's not throwing, something that actually appears to be there for the sake of just provoking you and for the sake of making you uncomfortable. This is a movie that has a very slow but very deliberate build-up. This is a movie that goes for 97 minutes, and I thought that each and every one of these minutes was utilised to the point that created something so deeply unsettling. I thought at the start of the film you've got this Torre character that you immediately like, because he is living in a very sugar-coated world. You feel that he has the mentality of someone much younger, and it shows you the wolves that live out there in the real world. The wolves are these people who are much stronger than these vulnerable individuals, and they know that they're much stronger, and they're taking, they're manipulating this advantage that they have. And it does symbolise the animal kingdom, where it's the survival of the fittest, and you feel that Torre is not one of the fittest, and he is going to be exploited to the point where his life is going to be in danger. And so when his little bubble is being popped, you feel that he has no coping mechanisms because he has no people skills, and that he is so blindly, in love with Jesus, and he's so blindly following these rules that he is basically oblivious to the sense of danger. So it is, on one hand you've got this very manipulative individual, on the other hand you've got this guy who is basically his puppet. This guy is playing Torre like a puppet on strings. And I just thought it was deeply unsettling the way that this movie actually transpired. And I thought that was great to see this main character, this other main character, this father of this family, his character starts to unravel very slowly as well. At the start you feel that he is a very good guy, that he is a guy that has genuine concern for the well-being of Torre. But then as the movie goes along, things start to happen where you get a glimpse into the other side of this guy. And this is where it starts to get very unsettling, very scary, is that, wait a minute, this guy appeared to be nice, but now he's starting to show his true colours. And this really happens. You see that a lot of serial killers, for instance, instance. They appear to be very charming, but they've got a different side to them that you don't see in public. And this is exactly the case in this film, is that all these characters feel like they are, transforming into something else, and that first impressions don't always last. And I thought Katrin Geber did a great job at creating a sense of impending doom that is just slowly snowballing into something very big, and then right at the end it just hits you in the face like the power of a sledgehammer. Basically, this is extreme cinema. If you're not a fan of this sort of stuff, I would stay well away. This is going to upset a lot of people. It doesn't make any apologies. It feels like the whole film has been sucked of its life. It has been sucked of all of the feel-good atmosphere that a lot of films have. I know a lot of people in the United States especially, I've heard directors say that they are a little bit concerned with having films that don't promise a happy outcome, that the viewer needs to have hope. And this is where European films differentiate from USA films, the American films, in that Europeans are not afraid to show you the dark side of humanity, the side of humanity that a lot of people will turn the other cheek to and pretend that it's not there. But no matter how many times you say to yourself the boogeyman doesn't exist, he's always going to be staying in the corner of the room just waiting for you. And that's the boogeyman in this case is the ugliness of humanity, and that it's not fairy tales, it's not unicorns and fairies at every corner. It is deep, dark, ugly. It's cruelty, it's just humiliation. And I think this movie just contributes all of that, and it throws it upon this very unfortunate character that you get so much sympathy for. And I just think it was down to the fact that it has a lot of attention to detail. It is not afraid to have a slow burning build-up. But right at the end, it does hit you like a sledgehammer, and at the end of it, I was just looking at the end credits, just in shock, because I couldn't believe what I actually experienced. I'm so glad I did experience it. Thought the acting from Torre was fantastic. As I said, very sweet guy. He was just devout to Jesus, and he was going to abide by the laws of Christianity, and he was not going to steer away from them. So his loving and his forgiving sort of nature was basically his downfall. And that's what makes it even more tragic, is that he was trying to do the good thing. But unfortunately, when it comes to evil, you just can't really, you can't bargain with evil. And that's ultimately what happens in this film, is that you've got this very strong man, this very evil man who is basically manipulating this guy. He's not only tearing his bubble and his world apart, he's basically mauling it like a pit bull would. So it's basically a fly caught in a spider web, and the spider is slowly coming down to get it, and you can't help that fly. All you're doing is just watching hopelessly as the situation just spirals out of control up into a very, very, very shocking climax that I'm sure is going to really upset a lot of people. So if you like your extreme cinema, such as Martyrs, Snowtown, the works of Lars von Trier, and in some cases the works of Michael Haneke, then you're really going to like this film. Apparently this is Katrin Geber's first feature film, which is absolutely phenomenal. She is a director to put up there with the likes of Lars von Trier and co, and not afraid to show you the side of life that a lot of us don't really, that a lot of us wish didn't exist, but it actually does. So overall, for Nothing Bad Will Happen, I'm going to give it 4 stars. It's not a perfect film. There are minor flaws there, but fortunately there is enough memorable quality to really hit it home, and it's a film that you will not forget anytime soon. Alright guys, that's it for my review. I hope you enjoyed it. Till next time, keep watching movies, and I'll see you later. Bye.